Welcome back to the channel. This has been a very hectic day. There's a lot of work that had to be done, a lot of things that had to be taken care of. I'm running a bit behind this evening as far as my readings are concerned. There again, that couldn't be helped. I simply had way too much to do. Don't really have much of an update that I'm going to share here to start with. As usual, I'm going to do a 2-card reading, 5-card reading. I'm going to do 2 of those. Therein, my brain is not working as it should. I'm a little exhausted from today's efforts. I hope all of you are well. As I have mentioned in some of these previous videos, I'm still working on that project, and I still don't have a date for when it will be done. Probably I'm 80% of the way through the project, so hopefully soon. There again, I don't know exactly when. In mentioning this project, therein time has grown short recently as far as the days are concerned, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do to begin these readings. I'll take a moment here to ground my energies. As I have mentioned in some previous videos, I am doing free readings, so therein, if you know someone who would benefit from receiving a reading, certainly have them send me a message and I'll be happy to do one for them. Take a moment here to say hello to the cards. Okay. Alright, let me take a moment to connect my energies to the cards and to connect this first reading with Marc. Hmm. Very fitting status card here, I think. Okay, your status card here is the Smith. The intuitive message that came through with this card is solely speaking about work, putting forth effort, making progress, and there again, a very finite, focused view on work. Also, to some degree, part of this message coming through here with this card is talking about how there's sort of a community where people are being attentive to your work and your work ethic, and the fact that through hard work, you know, you've reaped some benefits, you've made some progress, and so people are being attentive to that. All in all, I mean, sort of a neutral status card here. Therein, as I said, it's simply speaking to, you know, determination, a strong work ethic, very work-centered card. Okay. Your challenge card here is the Thief. I've seen this card come up a couple of times, and I'm not at all surprised to find this challenge card here in this reading. Alright. As I said, it is the Thief. The intuitive message coming through here with this card is talking about this sort of separation. Wow. Not sure what that was. There's a separation coming through here with this card. It's speaking directly to the fact that sometimes being the general or being the leader, being capable to some degree, that will separate you from others. That capability gives you a different view, a different way of walking through the world, a different way of being. And sometimes that can be very isolating, whether that's intentional or not. I do get a strong sense to some degree of sorrow coming through with this card, and as I said, it's directly related to the sort of lifestyle and way of being therein that's causing this separation. So yeah, there's a lot of complicated messages coming through this card. Let's see. Okay. Alright. Your tool card or resolution card here is the Joy of the Future. And it is reversed. Just as with the previous card, there's another complicated message coming through here. This one, the message coming through with this card is talking about sort of this idea of this sort of meadow and like banquet and celebration, you know, sort of off in the distance. This card is speaking directly to the fact that there needs to be an approach taken to finding that celebration and those golden moments in the now, in the present. Also too, it is speaking to, as we mentioned with this isolation here, the challenge card, it's speaking to reaching out to community, but sort of moving through that process without this kind of skewed view. There are a lot of figures here in this card, and they're all very different. There are different sizes and shapes and weight, and different facial expressions, different costumes. This card here in its reverse is talking about acceptance, viewing other people in the way as if to say that's how they're walking their path, and it's definitely different from mine. However, I can take some goodness in the companionship that I can have with them in whatever way that is. So that message is coming through very loudly here in this card. As I said, focusing on now and acceptance. That word is coming through very loudly. So yeah, not a bad tool card. Okay. Card's not ready yet. Still not ready. Okay. Another card that has come up quite often recently. There's another complicated message coming through with this card. Your outcome card here is Tink. I often mention with this card, there tends to be this feeling and message of a sort of childish stubbornness. A sort of pouting or a resignation of putting your foot down and saying, I'm not going to do this or that. This is speaking to the difficulty here, both with this challenge card and with this tool card, in the sense that sometimes it's very difficult to break away from, the way that we have lived our lives or certain perceptions that we have. Very much there's a sort of 50-50, it's all on you message coming through with this card. There's a stark contrast of light and dark. And as an outcome card here, it's basically saying, the ball's in your court. You can choose, what you want in your life, and the choice is yours. So, but I do get to some degree a sort of warning coming through here with this card and saying, it might be very wise to not allow yourself to be stubborn and hindered via practices that you might have used in the past. So yeah, as I said, complicated messages coming through with this outcome card. Not bad. Certainly a focus on the self and your own ability to forge your own destiny. Okay. Another card that has come up recently. Okay. Alright, your personal card here is the Captive Man. As I always say, take a moment and look closely at the image. There will be something in it that speaks directly to you. the message that came through here with this card is harkening back to the stubbornness I mentioned here in this card. It's talking about, to some degree, being held captive by those old thoughts, those old ways of being. This card is also speaking to the fact that those old ways are harboring, to some degree, shadow around you. There's a lot of shadow and negativity in this card. You've got some assistance here. There's a lot of shadow and negativity in this card. Not necessarily malice. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. But definitely, I'll just use that word shadow. There's a lot of shadow here. A lot of sort of chaos and confliction. Also a lot of power. But there again, power sometimes is not freeing as much as it is constricting. And that's what's coming through here with this card. I'll show you the card a second time. As I said, look at it closely. Find the message in the image that's speaking directly to you. All in all, I think it's a pretty positive reading here. As I mentioned, you know, mostly it simply deals with, to some degree, working with others and shifting the ways that you view the world and those that are around you, as a possibility for manifesting, you know, harmony and goodness in your life. So yeah, I think all in all, pretty positive reading. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put these cards back in the deck and allow some of the energy here to dissipate. We're supposed to be together. Okay. Shuffle the cards here for a moment. Cards sit there for a minute and allow some more of the energy to further dissipate. As I normally say, if you have any questions or concerns about your reading, certainly let me know. I'll be happy to look into things further. Okay. Alright, let me further connect my energies to the cards and connect this next reading to Becky. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Your status card here is the Remembrance, and it is reversed. Show it to the camera. Turn it up so that you can see it. The intuitive message that came through with this card came through pretty loudly as soon as I turned it over. And this is speaking to a degree, focusing on the future, you know, focusing on the now, goals that are immediate. At the same time, there's a sort of sorrowful somberness to this card, that's speaking to, you know, a difficulty or a tragedy or something from the past that's sort of been forgotten or set aside, or looked over or looked away from. Therein, I don't know the significance of that. Maybe it will come up later in the reading here, but I'm definitely getting that feeling, that somberness, that something has been sort of set aside intentionally. Okay, card's not quite ready yet. Still not quite ready. Okay. Okay. There is a complicated message coming through here with this card. Your challenge card is the Paradox, and it is reversed. The loudest part of the intuitive message that came through here with this card is talking about a very strong concern. Part of this message coming through, as I said, it's layered. Part of this is about concern over a choice that was made. Paradox often speaks to coming to a crossroads and you've got a lot of branches going everywhere, and there's no clear path. To some degree there's confusion and sort of a feeling of being lost. However, the focus here with this card, as I said, is a sort of sadness and a concern about a choice that was made in the past, something that occurred in the past, and it's still lingering. You know, this voice of, did I make the right decision? You know, what could I have done differently to change things? She's invested, insistent upon helping us. So yeah, as I said, great concern and a focus on something from the past. Not a bad challenge card, all in all. Okay. Okay. Wow. Alright, so your tool or resolution card here is the boy. And it is, yet again, another reversed card. Turn it up so that you can see it. Now, the strong message that's coming through here with this card, first and foremost, is the word responsibility. This is talking about taking a very sort of adult-minded look at a situation, therein referencing back to this concern that you have here with this paradox card. Your tool or resolution card here is saying take a mature sort of life lesson look at the decision that you made and understand, you know, the decision that you made or whatever that went on, there were reasons for that, very positive sort of, you know, higher level reasons for the occurrence or the decision that you made. So yeah, this card is all about reflection, and as I said, it's speaking to a deeper level of reflection concerning, you know, lessons that you learn via life, like inner deep wisdom, spiritual wisdom in particular is coming through here with this card. So not a bad tool card. Understanding that there is meaning in how to word that, there's meaning and reason, you know, sometimes using wisdom rather than another part of this message that's coming through now. This message is speaking to the fact that in the past, this decision, whatever was going on, there was a great deal of emotion there. It was, I'm getting this feeling of like the heart being pulled in a certain direction, a very heart-centered emotion, desire. Yet a decision was made, and there again, the importance is to focus on the fact that the decision that was made for the betterment of you, like in your life, in the long term. Sometimes those goals and that level of awareness is difficult to see and to perceive, but there was an importance in that decision that was made. Okay. A lot of energy coming through that card. Okay. Okay. Alright. Very fitting for this reading thus far. Your outcome card here is prick up your ears. It is reversed. I'll turn it up so that you can see it. Now obviously with the name of this card, oftentimes the message that comes through here with this card is solely focused on listening. Sometimes that listening is listening to the heart, to the self, sometimes not. Here, the message and the impression that's coming through is a sort of, to some degree it's a success because it's speaking to the fact that you're closing your ears to the concerns here in this challenge card. You're sort of turning down the volume on all those voices in your head that are saying, should I have done this, should I have done that, what if I could have done this, how would things be different, you know, etc., etc. You're quieting all those doubts and fears and insecurities. So I take that as a very positive outcome card here, and the reversed aspect of this card is important because it is saying you're no longer going to be listening to those fears and insecurities. So very positive overall. Okay, the card's not ready. Okay. It's a very positive personal card here. Okay. Alright, your personal card here is the Child. As I always say, take some time and look closely at the image. There will be something in it that will speak directly to you if you open yourself up to it. The intuitive message coming through with this card is talking about therein that childlike wonderment, being able to see the magic and the beauty and the light in life without judgment or bias. Also too, there's a strong part of this message coming through that's talking about being watched over by spirit, by guides, those who have passed on, being watched over, and sort of knowing and trusting that you're okay. This is definitely a card, as I said, of love and light, of wellness, of just sort of being and being happy and having joy, finding joy yet again in life. And I think this further ties into this outcome card here and saying that you can reach, you know, these feelings and sort of this practice and experience of life by letting go of those worries and concerns, like I said, about, you know, past occurrences. So a very positive and beautiful personal card. Okay. Now show it to the camera yet again. As I said, take a moment and look closely at the image. See what you can find that speaks directly to you. All in all, I think it was a very positive reading. Definitely the message there in your outcome card was very loud, and solely it speaks, your tool card here more than anything speaks to the fact that the decision that you made or whatever occurred, there was a reason, a meaningful reason for it. You may not be able to easily see that now, but there's messages coming through, as I mentioned here with this personal card and being watched over. There was a higher vibrational reason and importance for that. So yeah, all in all, I think pretty positive. Well, I believe that's all that I want to share with this video. There again, it is getting late and I have more work to do. As I usually say, I hope all of you are well. I send you love and light, harmony and compassion, goodwill and good fortune. If all goes well, I will speak to you soon.